Hello, this is Heavy Thrasher of Nasty Metal Production channel at YouTube. Okay, I was actually, the reason I'm doing this video was, it was by a request by one of the members of the Forces of Steel forum. And I was also thinking about this video for some time, but really, it was actually after I had watched, actually two videos. And they were like posted a few, I think like a month back. It was by both CKN and Count Blegareth. I think I said his YouTube name right. But they all had a video that was called Modern Metal Sucks. Even though CKN was actually a, his video was actually a response to Count Blegareth's video. And even though that video was also called Modern Metal Sucks, but the term was actually used very loosely, because it meant in terms of what the average person who's pretty much stuck on two bands saying that modern metal sucks, that due to the fact that the mainstream are pushing bands such as Slipknot, such as fucking I guess even Asking Alexandria, Avenged Sevenfold, you know, shit like that, I guess. But and not doing any activeness and trying to find bands that are close to the style that they like. So that's pretty much what that video was. And even though most of those two tackle different bands most of the time, like let's say most of those were on like Count Blegareth's video was mostly focused on actually death metal and black metal. But here I'm gonna at least show at least a bit of variety, at least as I can. Me, I don't really venture out too much into death metal bands, let alone black metal, but I do have at least some that can be count as maybe a little bit of both, but also tackle other genres as well. So this is definitely would be seen as a guide, as a at least this is mostly based on my recommendations, but this is a guide video to at least some good bands. But I'll throw in other ones. So here we go. Now this all this might be more focused on, like, let's say, like retro metal, which I use that fucking term very loosely, because I'm really not a fan of the term retro most of the time. But the whole retro thing has been going around since like the late 90s, actually, with bands such as Slough-Feg, who I haven't been ventured all too much in, but have given little bits and listens of, which I'm actually digging, even though I've heard about them since the fucking Brutal Legend game, since there was at least a song used by, I think it was like a drum solo. But it has been going around since then, and we've ended up getting, which actually kick-started the whole other movements from thrash metal to other shit. Even also, like, you know, heavy metal, such as what we have, which seems to never end, the new wave of traditional heavy metal, which most of these bands kind of kickstarted, and I think it pretty much came out of both the US and, in terms of Europe, Sweden. So, and one of those bands is none other than Wolf. This is at least the only Wolf album I have by them, and not bad. Definitely not bad. It's more got that, even though the production's very modern sounding, which is kind of, you know, which gives way for the whole new wave of traditional heavy metal sound as well. This band, I think, was doing it pretty much before any bands like Enforcer, Cauldron from Canada, and other shit like that, you know, bands or You get the point. Even White Wizard out of U.S. But this band is really was doing it. Right here, it's very much prominent to me. Maybe it has a little bit of similarities to their scene. Like Gotham City seems to be the band that kind of. That's the one band that definitely strikes at me, especially when I hear a song such as American Storm. It really strikes me. And this is when I bought this CD. I don't think I haven't listened to a lot of Gotham City at this time. I don't think I ever got to, which is kind of crazy, but I don't think I ever got to listen to them. If I did, I'm probably an idiot to forget. But to me, this really comes out at me as almost kind of trying to recreate the sounds of Gotham City and maybe like Heavy Load, but still not bad. They're ones that have been going strong ever since then, and you know, to me, I haven't really kept up with them, but they've been going on strong since then, and just releasing a lot of stuff. And I have listened to at least one of the songs off of their later albums, and for some reason, this is gonna suck, but it really hasn't grabbed me. To me, this sound just seems to, I don't know, it just catches me very much. It really does end up like grabbing me. But so in a way, this is like one of their best albums. Really is Evil Star. They're still and this copy is the one on Prosthetic Records or No Fashion, which features bonus tracks such as a pretty solid cover of Slayer's Die by the Sword, and then you've got a Ramones cover, which is I'm Not Afraid of Life, but they also do another cover that is not a bonus track, but it kind of ends off the actual album itself, which is a cover of Blue Oyster Cult's Don't Fear the Reaper. Not bad either. That one's pretty good. It really does fit in with the actual album. Even the other songs fit in, but still not a bad album. I don't have their first one, which which would like to get as well. But still, good band, in my opinion, though that goes for other album. Now when it comes to thrash metal, there's definitely one band. I talked about them in my, I think it was retro thrash metal video. I think it was something like that. And it's Toxic Holocaust, Evil Never Die. They've been around for a long time, and for you people that, I think some people by now know this band, and who knows, but Joel Grind has been ever since, with demos and stuff, and especially Evil Never Dies, which I actually like pretty damn good enough. It's got some great songs. I think one of my favorites off this one is I think the Summon the Beast is the song, which is just a bit of not a fast song. It's almost got a slow to it, but it's got definitely a power to it. It's a really great song off this album, but he's just been keeping this band together ever since. It's just great. Now, I did, again, with the retro thrash metal video I did, but the reason I did this, and I'm putting this in here to kind of, I don't know why, but I'm using it as a reference because when it came to ideas for this video, I wanted to do a video solely on the new wave for traditional heavy metal bands. Because, I don't know, I just felt like doing a video because I did retro thrash and shit, so I wanted to do one, but since I was requesting of doing this type of video, I just decided to, bring in all other bands, but one of them does get featured on here, and it is a band that will spearhead the new wave for traditional heavy metal movement, and that was indeed Enforcer. to me, this band really, and they, it's kind of crazy because of when I listened to this disc, I didn't really listen to Enforcer before, which I downloaded this a long time ago, but when that band came on, I'm like, they were so different sounding from all the other bands. They had more of a traditional metal sound to them, more so kind of similar to Exciter, which the person on here, I guess the person who pretty much ran Heavy Artillery, definitely gave his thoughts on the band as well. Said that they were like, Exciter, but they definitely had a bit of a more of a speed metal sort of sound, even though not very thrashy at times. Even though it's got a thrashy sort of tinge to their sound, it sounded more traditional sounding, and plus their vocalist, who Olaf whatever, his voice was very different from the rest. He actually had a bit more of, I guess I hate this, I want to say melodic, but he just was more, not as raspy. He didn't sound like any of the other thrash metal vocalists on here. But these were two songs, and these are actually two like alternate versions of songs that would end up appearing on their debut album, which I just forgot the name of. The thing was like, I don't know, I forgot that name of that album. But songs such as Evil Attacker and Mistress of Hell, they sound different, and for some reason I kind of prefer these versions over the ones that got put on that album. But still, not bad. Keeping up Enforcer, at least the only Enforcer album that I have in my collection is their album from 2013, Death by Fire. And this is a digipack, and the reason I got this because it came with the patch, which I have on my denim vest. But this is Death by Fire. Sound very much changed, almost I would say dramatically, because of no longer is there a type of like a thrashy like sound to it. There's more of a new wave of British heavy metal sound going on. Like there's more of on songs such as Death Rides This Night, which has another new wave of British heavy metal like sound, like let's say like Savage or Sweet Savage or Raven in some terms. It's got that sort of, maybe like Metallica's Kill 'Em All. It's got that sort of thing going on with it. And then you've got Mesmerized by Fire, which is actually one of my favorite songs off this album, but besides the song Satan. Everyone says that's a weak song, but I've always been fond of that track. To me, it's one of my favorite songs off of the Death by Fire album, but still, if you're a fan of some of, let's say like new wave of British heavy metal and maybe even old school Metallica, this is definitely one to probably pick up. Definitely check out if you like those bands. Now, it probably much more longer than Enforcer, and maybe, who knows, maybe not as long as Wolf, but another one that's been going on strong is High on Fire. Now again, this is the last of me showing like kind of new bands, I guess, even though they're not technically new now, but they're definitely kind of modern bands at this point. Been going on since the last decade of the 2000s. Now it's 2010s, which this album started off being released in 2010. Matt Pike has been keeping this band forever, and this sounds very much got like, to me it's like what if Tony Iommi was recruited to be in Motorhead. That's what's going on with this one. It's like Black Sabbath on speed. this whole album. And while I have heard Blessed Black Queens, which was the first On Fire album that I ever heard, they've got like this sort of, and to me I think this band was also one who kind of almost helped spearhead the whole new wave of traditional heavy metal or retro metal sound, because of, even though it's got some modern touches, they've got a bit of a sound kind of dip that isn't so far off from other 70s and 80s bands. Mostly 70s really, but when it comes to 80s bands, it's like Motorhead. But that's what's going on with this one. It's not bad. I really dig. And if you like, and if you haven't listened to High on Fire and really want to check out at least another good band that you might like, this is definitely one I would say definitely check out. Okay, now it's actually on to the more newer bands. Starting off with thrash metal, mostly like thrash, black, death, whatever. This is Witch Trap. They've been around also since like the whole retro thrash metal movement and such. I think I did bring them up in my retro video. I can't remember, but I don't know. I never see this band get talked about very much, and I never see them get, which is crazy. It's crazy. I never do. And this album always gets seen as a weak album, which I've heard a little bit of their first album, but still, I think this album isn't bad. It's probably more laid back in some places, but still got some good songs. Like, very much if you like Bathory, or this band really did take on that Bathory sound pretty much, and it's like that, not as much as Death Hammer, but kind of close to that sound. But if you like that, I would say definitely check this one out. It's got some good tracks on here, such as Gallows and Crows, Rite of the Beast, BLMD, and Priest of Sin. It's definitely got some good songs I actually like. I don't think it's a bad album. I don't think that they should be shunned out. I mean, a good band from Colombia, and I don't check out a lot of. I haven't been focused really I haven't been following a lot of the Colombian scene, but this band isn't bad, and I haven't heard a whole lot by them still. Like, they had an album after this. Still not bad. I still think they deserve at least a bit more attention. Still going on. Antichrist, talked about him as well in the Retro Thrash video. Another good band. There's definitely a lot more going on here than your average retro thrash band. There's a lot of different ideas that some of those bands were never able to do, such as songs like Necropolis and Minotaur. Those two songs are like one of the. It's crazy, and it's something else. It took me off guard, really. I mean, you got some well-edged thrashers on this album. You also got some, like, probably the two epic songs, Necropolis, which is also another good song. It's got like a Merciful Fate tinge to it, but still like good. It's like epic. And you've got Minotaur, which is a holy shit. It's like a freaking it's an instrumental, but holy shit, talk about a fucking instrumental. Really great track, really. And I normally don't see a lot of retro thrash bands really take on the sound like that. I think Antichrist stood out from the rest. Still, I have to keep this going. I think the video is kind of almost starting to get long, so let me go on at least a bit fast. Death Hammer. I don't need to say too much. This album or that, one of these two, I would definitely start off with. If you like, Teutonic thrash metal, or even bands such as Bathory or Hellhammer, or Celtic Frost, or Celtic, whatever you want, however it's pronounced. Definitely ones to check, and I'm gonna have to probably turn the camera light on for a bit, but definitely, if you like that, those bands, definitely check that out. Alright. Okay, moving on. Now it's on to new wave of traditional heavy metal. Now, new wave of traditional heavy metal sometimes means for newer bands, like younger bands, but I have no problem putting this band in here, which is Ancelotti with The Chain Goes On. Now, Bud Ancelotti, who's probably best known for singing for 80s metal band Strana Fisna, another great Italian band. Even though Ancelotti is very similar to Strana Fisna. If you like Strana Fisna, this is all to the ones who really dug deep into the underground. If you like that band, this one is up your alley. But still, great disc, and if you like sounds for people who are stuck on two bands, if you like Judas Priest, Saxon, Udo, or Accept, definitely this is one to check out. Great disc. It was released on Pure Steel. Great album. I think I've praised this band, I think, quite a bit here in the... Pretty much I have. And it's Ambush. Another new wave of traditional heavy metal band. If you like the sounds of Judas Priest, if you like Accept, if you like Enforcer, if you like... if you like all that type of, maybe even like Saxon as well, if you like that shit, check out Ambush's Firestorm. Great album. I know they're releasing a new one called Desecrator, which I did a video on, talking about, and I just hope the best that album ends up being maybe just as good as this one. But still, great album. If you like the classic metal sound, Ambush is definitely up your alley. Keeping it going. This is Night Demon. Another great band that's also a part of the new wave of traditional heavy metal. I throw them in there. Definitely good one. This is their probably their major label release because they're on Century Media. And this is just a pretty good album if you like the sounds of Iron Maiden or more other new wave of British heavy metals. New wave of British heavy metal. If you like that type of style, like Angel Witch, you'll definitely like Night Demon. Good album right there. Now I'm just using this as a reference. It's another comp, but it's one I got recently. This is Thunder and Steel Down Under, which is a tribute to Riot. But I'm using this as a reference because there are some new bands right here, some that are also part of the new wave traditional heavy metal tradition. I have trouble pronouncing certain words. Savage Master is also another good one. It's a female-fronted speed metal band, almost very similar to like Snow White. So if you like Snow White, like early Snow White, actually, like All Hail the Thee, or the album, the other EP after that. If you like that, you'll like Savage Master. I haven't heard a lot of that full-length album, but just upon listening to their cover of Swords and Tequila, definitely I will say check them out. There's another one on here called Alpha Tiger. I haven't really been a fan of, but they're not bad. They're not bad. If you like US power metal, you'll probably dig Alpha Tiger. Stallion, another band that's actually on the High Roller Records label. On here they do a cover of Rock City, and another good one. I was exposed to them through an EP by them, or a demo. but they have an EP out called Mounting the World. It's a pretty solid EP. They do a cover of a Rock Goddess track on there, and I forgot the name of that song, but it's something to do with rock and roll. But still, it's a great song. They've gotten they have a music video out for one of those albums, and they did release an album last year called shit. Oh, I forgot the name of that album, but it's got like a horse, like a skeletal-looking horse on the album. It's in the colors like purple. Though I originally thought it was like yellow, because of that album was actually given a different artwork, and apparently got changed. How I know that is because of High Roller Records, their website. They showed a different artwork before they changed. They had some news had different color, but then later on they switched it, which is crazy. But how I know that is because I looked on their site, and if anyone's got any information on that and to kind of validate that I'm not crazy, I would like to know on why that happened. But there's another one on here. There's Rockarollas, which some people in the Force of Steel forum probably already know about. They're another Swedish band or something. They're not bad. Night Demons on here, which I talked about. But then there's also Dexter Ward, another good new wave of traditional heavy metal band. They're out of oh geez, where are they from? They're like I don't want to say Spain, but they're somewhere from oh god, or Greece. They're out of Greece, and they're another good band. And I actually did listen to at least a little bit of their full-length album. I think there's City Lights or something. I can't remember that name of that album, but I listened to some of that, and on here they do a cover of Running from the Law, which is killer. They really make it almost sound a little. They add just a little bit of their touch, especially from their vocalist, who very much gives his own little personality into this album. It's just another great song, and another great band as well, Dexter Ward. Alright, now we're just going into speed metal, which I almost wanted to throw most of these bands into new wave of traditional heavy metal, but I don't know. But still going along, Intoxicated, Rock and Roll Hell Patrol. If you like Motorhead or Baphomet's Blood, or some of that sound, you'll like Intoxicated. Very much like Motorhead, and they do a Motorhead cover on here. It's The Chase is Better Than the Catch. Pretty good. Almost like for at least production, it's got like a garage sound to it, which is very much, which gives it its charm. But it's a great disc. If you like Motorhead, you'll like Intoxicated. Going on, another recent album that I got, new album, but I got it recently. It's Evil Killer. This is Lethal Assault. They're out of Spain. If you like, I guess ADX, Agent Steel, maybe Muro. If you like them, if you like a little bit of Gravedigger, you like, some with also like a Teutonic style, even though the vocals are a little bit melodic, but they've got a bit of a bite to it, a little more edge to the vocals, instead of sounding like your average new wave traditional heavy metal band, not trying to sound too much like Skullfist. There's a lot of sound from that, but if you like old school speed metal, you'll really dig Evil Killer, I assume. Going along, I did a review on this album, so I don't need to probably say too much. This is Witchblade, A Scoldiness Eld. If you like a little bit of heavy load, if you like a little bit of Motorhead, if you like maybe like Baphomet's Blood, if you like Intoxicated, if you like any other fucking Swedish heavy metal band, If you like some of that shit, you'll like Witchblade. Very much pretty good, but some of the lyrics are most of the lyrics are sung in their native language, but still, which gives it its own identity. Definitely a good album, really. 26 minutes of just raw metal. Last one, and this video has been going on pretty long. This is Ranger, Where Evil Dwells. This is probably, I guess, a major label debut because it's on Spinefarm Records, which is known for having Venom on their roster. Great album. If you like Hollow Zeke, if you like Exciter, if you like Agent Steel, if you like maybe like early Slayer, I get like, or Judas Priest, if you like Razor, if you like, you know, some of the bands that are featured on Combat Records and early Metal Blade Records, you'll fucking like Ranger. Just a lot of classic stuff in there, like Phantom Soldier's awesome. It's a great track. Really great track. Yeah, I can't say, it's just great. I went on this video, I think it's went on too long, so I'm gonna end this. It might be a 40-minute video, but still, great stuff. So, if you're stuck on two bands and are actually looking for bands that are kind of close to your style, I've thrown as enough bands at you. I recommend it as enough bands at you to probably check out. So, until then, this is Heavy Thrash saying, I'm out.